What's up everybody, and welcome back. I'm back again with another romance manga recommendation. I know, don't blame me though, it just seems like there's so much more romance genre manga than any other, and I'm a-okay with that. Today I'm recommending Hold On to Your Horses, because this is another very long title, regarding of my married life with a childhood friend whom I thought was a boy going way too smoothly. I know the names are outrageous, and in this one it plays up the I confused the girl for being a boy thing in the title way more than it is in the manga. But I much prefer that because it allows the story to actually move forward and for that not to be like a major stumbling block or hurdle that the characters have to deal with. So far this manga only has 2 chapters and is being done by Hamubane and Mokufu. You could, if you're feeling generous, say it has 3 chapters, since chapter 1 is divided into point 1 and point 2, and they're not short, they're full-length chapters themselves, so it's up to you. But this is another comedy romance, school life shonen slice of life, and the relationship between Kanoi Shuichi and Karasuma Yuika. And yes, they're married. They are actually married. It's not just in the title, it's not something that they are working towards. They are in fact married. Kind of right out the gate. Don't worry though, they're not first years in high school, they're end of second going into third, so they're more 18-ish, which is still young, but sounds so much better than if they were married and they were 16, you know? So the story is about how Shuichi ended up marrying his childhood friend who he thought was a boy. Just for clarification, he didn't marry her thinking she was a boy, he only thought Yuika was a boy 10 years ago, when they were 8, I think they said, when they met. Regardless, when they were kids, they were best friends, and Yuika was the only friend that Shuichi had. Flash forward 10 years, and the two are reunited at a marriage interview where Shuichi discovers that his male best friend was actually a female, and that now she's a beauty, with every intention to marry him. And that's just how the story starts, because the main focus of the story is them being married, and being this ideal couple, which doesn't make me jealous at all. I don't know where you got that idea from, but if you were paying attention and have read a scary amount of manga like I have, then you should know that they were having a marriage interview because my boy is loaded. Well, Shuichi's grandfather is, and he's set to inherit the company and the riches, and because of that, he had no friends when he was little, until he met Yuika, and in your typical fashion, Yuika was a rambunctious tomboy who got Shuichi in trouble, but also allowed him to experience what having a friend is like, and what having some semblance of freedom was like, until of course, they were separated. Obviously, they could only be friends for a summer or whatever amount of time it was. It wasn't even a year, I don't think, but they became best friends. She fell in love with him. Now they're married 10 years later, okay? And the whole story is about that. It's about them being married. It's not about them working up to being married. It's about them being in the relationship and figuring out not how they feel about each other, because they both like each other, but about how they go from best friends, separated for all this time, to now married, and how they move through that relationship dynamic, which is obviously a unique situation. But so as soon as they were separated as kids, Shuichi went back to having no friends, because don't make the rich kid's son unhappy kind of thing, I guess. And because as he grew up, he detached himself from others. And I actually kind of like that though. Shuichi isn't a bad guy, he just doesn't have any real connections, because he knows most kids and people, for that fact, want to be friends with him because he's got mad money, and because of the connection that he has to his grandfather. And the only one he trusts is only in it for him is Yuika. And that's one of the reasons he agrees to marry her, other than her being his best friend and beautiful. He felt safe. He's like, okay, I don't want to go through all of these marriage interviews, end up married to someone that I don't care for, who's only in it because it's not a political marriage, but a financial decision kind of thing. So let me marry Yuika. I don't know how she got the marriage interview. I think it was just set up by the grandfather because they were family friends or something. Not sure. So he says, yeah, let me marry her. If I marry her, we're good. We're cool with each other. She's not in it for the money. And we can be best friends who are married and then have that best friend married relationship evolve into a regular marriage relationship, I guess, is what he was thinking. I don't know, it's gonna work out in the end. But if you like adorable romance manga, you'll like this. There is comedy involved, basically all around Yuika, seeing as she's been in love with Shuichi since she was 8, and since then has been training and preparing to be his wife, and she's trying to hide that work and that excitement about being able to be married to Shuichi and live with him. All around, it is a very pleasant and wholesome romance manga, and I can't wait for more. But if you want more recommendations, check out the other Why You Should videos in the playlist, and check out the podcast. Links in the description box. As always, like and subscribe for more recommendations, and leave some of your own. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next one.